Hey guys, this is Tina B.
And Charmaine G.
We're here to talk about the messiness of life. It's ugly.
And it's raw.
It's real.
And it's a freaking game.
It's whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole!
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole!
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole!
This is us.
And our gift to you.
Greetings.
Hell yeah, we're a gift!
Greetings and salutations.
Hola, namaste, my man.
Happy Monday.
Thank you.
It's spring.
It's
and they're
been
getting ready to have a huge snowstorm up in Salt Lake City.
I'm glad I don't live there. That's why I live here.
April. It's like blizzard. Like they're talking like 6 inches up there in the valleys.
No way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
it's a little touch cooler here today.
It is, but it's manageable.
Oh, 100% manageable.
Okay, so word from our sponsors. We're going to give a shout out to Desert Homes Pest Control. Call them today, 435-256-0407. They will kill everything that's unpleasant visitors, except for you, your family, and your pets.
I'd pay for that.
It's like a
My
roach
mother-in-law.
parade
Exactly,
afterwards.
Sean.
My mother-in-law. She's unpleasant.
Can we just throw things out there for them to kill? Like, just getting ready for the bug, man.
My stepson's dog.
They are chemically trained, certified, insured, and bonded. They can be in your home, and they do a fantastic job. Our second sponsor, Sunset Wellness, located off of Sunset Boulevard, 1973 West Sunset Boulevard, and their phone number is, of course, that's what would happen, 435-849-8452. They are experts at body sculpting, skin tightening treatments, fat reduction with their T-Shock cryoskin therapy, and alternative supplement treatments, CBD, things that are very medicinal based.
Nice.
Yeah, I suffer from anxiety, and I take some of their products, and it's got me off of any kind of medication. So
Wow, good for you. That's awesome.
thanks.
And then last but certainly not least, Dixie Moving and Storage for all your moving needs. I didn't mention that. Did you know that they know how to move a piano? Of course. They know
That's
how to move. That's a
huge.
big deal to take those apart and put those back together. They move safes. They pack your house. They move you. They're amazing people. And their phone number is 435-628-2281. Call Jake. He'd be happy to come out and help you. Nobody likes to move. These guys do it for a living, and they're really good at it. So
Thank God for movers.
I
It
know,
sucks.
right? Yes.
Okay, Tina, how was your day?
My day was good. I saw you for a fraction of it. Charmaine and I went out to we're doing the video thing, against my better judgment.
You look good.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Anyway, so I don't wear makeup.
Ever in your whole entire life?
I have. The last time I wore makeup, I told you, was like, I want to say 1992, maybe.
I don't know.
I had some
no.
Mary Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I threw like a Mary Kay party and got Mary Kay. And
Like
so
that?
I was, oh my goodness.
Next,
She's
please.
pretty. Look at
You're a
her.
natural beauty.
Oh.
Oh, see?
I don't have any makeup on there except for some eyeliner.
Okay.
I know that.
Wow.
Check it this
Wow.
one. Oh.
I have lipstick on there.
Wow.
now.
That is
Thank
you.
you. Oh my goodness, Charmaine. You're killing me, both of you. They're dead when this is over. So I don't wear makeup. I'm not one to do that. So I have to have my picture taken for a work thing. And I also, since want to do this video thing, you come beautiful.
Oi.
And then me, which is the opposite of that,
Oh,
my
you
face
are
looks like a
lying.
catcher's mitt, and I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like that. Like it has to be comparable. It has to be even. Like when they look at you and they look at me, they're like, okay, those ladies have
I do
smooth
her.
skin. Like
Yeah.
who's going to do that? Nobody's doing that. However, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better.
It's a
So
whole industry,
I
beauty
asked-
industry.
yeah. Oh my God. It's a racket is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So I went to Charmaine and I were meeting today, as we do on Mondays, and I needed some brow work done because I looked at my face and thought, how can I get on video? I haven't had my brows waxed in weeks, which is fine with me. However, it needed to be done. I knew it needed to be done, but the sense of urgency of today is what.
Tell them
so,
about.
So I called there and made an appointment, and then I said, meet me at Ulta. And she was like, okay. Did you ask me why? I was like, I
No.
need some fucking makeup.
Yeah.
So, that was it. And she was like, okay, I'm happy to be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So anyways, we get there. She's there before me. She's already made purchases. She's all over the store. She knows Estee Lauder. She knows
Clinique.
Clinique,
Yeah, Marks,
NYX,
Max
all
Factor.
this
Yeah.
stuff. And I just wanted my eyebrows waxed and maybe a little bit of color put on them, because now the older I get, the more I have to maintain shit.
Yes, you do.
I didn't have to do this 10 years ago. I didn't have to handle the grays 10 years ago. I wasn't having to do anything to my eyebrows. I have Italian eyebrows. They're beautiful. I had to pluck the middle and just, the color was there, everything, full lips. And now it's like a whole thing. So I went to Ulta. Everybody knows what Ulta is. Shout out to Ulta. They give us nothing, but shout out to them anyway.
They're my next target. So, Tina, being Italian, I mean, do you get that natural dark hair peach fuzz instead
Oh
of
my
just
gosh.
the light?
Yes. So I have a couple of aunts that, like, in their 20s, they had a mustache, and maybe that was, but like in their 40s and 50s, and they were reaching in for a kiss or something, just not so attractive.
What
That
the
one
freaking
big
gnarly are
dark
you?
hair poking out. So yeah,
We shaved
she
Tina.
takes today. She goes. What is it called?
A dermablade.
A dermablade. And I don't even know what that is. Let's go get a dermablade. I'm like, okay, let's do that. We go over. The girl shows us where they are. There's like a whole package of razors. She starts hacking at my face.
Shaved her right there on the floor.
Just knocking it back, knocking
Making a
back
rug out
all
of
the
it.
hair. And it's coming off like you're shearing a sheep.
yeah.
You know when you shear a sheep and it's like a whole big, you get to the end of him and it's this big thing that
You
falls,
make
it's
a
all over
sword out
my,
of
like,
it.
my shirt. And it was,
But you looked lighter, huh?
I did. And I felt lighter.
So our adventure of exploring makeup, I mean, at 55 years of age, was an adventure. We change over time. Like,
I have
we've
to tell
given
you-
our bodies
yeah.
to life, the environment, and having children and genetics and all that stuff. I'm not like a fashionista by any means, and I didn't know what I was doing because what works for some don't work for me. But I learned a lot from, and there's industries that are freaking overnight billionaires. Kylie Jenner, and she didn't even have to do a marketing launch. All she did was all of her followers and subscribers.
She got the name too.
Yeah, she does. And so, but they're beautiful, and
There's
they're
a lot of
experts.
tutorials on TikTok. I come across them. I don't necessarily watch them, but my girls have seen them. My girls have even done them. Marissa did a little how-to on how to put on her Wink Click eyelashes, the
yeah,
glue-on
yeah.
ones that we wear. And I mean, that's ballsy. I could show you how to hit a baseball or catch a fly on the fly, but makeup is not my jam. And literally, when I go into a sporting goods store, because that is my jam, my nipples get hard. Like, I get excited, okay? When I walked into Ulta, my heart started pounding. I was sweating between my tits, in my armpits. Like, I was sweating under my eyes. And she's like, okay, let's put some makeup on you. And I was just sitting there, and I couldn't. I was looking every once in a while, and it looked good. You did a fantastic job.
Thanks.
Don't get me wrong. It's just
Overwhelming.
it's overwhelming.
It's a whole different world to learn.
is.
It is. But you know what? Learning what works for you and cutting down the time of application, it does bring confidence, rather than going out of your house unkept and looking, which happens on the, all the time for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like when I'm presentable, I feel more confident.
There is, if I can say this to you without embarrassing you,
You might.
since I've known you, the first time I met you, we were sitting across the table from each other
Uh-huh.
on a job interview.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I remember my first impression of you was that you were put together.
Oh.
You were like,
I fooled you.
I didn't look at you thinking, oh, she's wearing makeup. She's this, she's that. You were presentable.
Thank you.
And that's what it's about. Isn't that what wearing makeup is about? Where somebody goes, that's an attractive person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You looked
yeah.
professional. You were in a suit. I don't think you were in a suit actually, but you like had a satin blouse on or something. But you looked.
I made an impression.
You made an
Shit.
impression on me. 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, in alignment with our topic today,
Mm.
and how like overnight people, become man-made, industries, on these social media
They become a
platforms.
brand.
They really do. And there's some that, I follow briefly grazing through TikTok. Towards the end of the night, I'm detoxing, or what do you call it, coming down off my highs.
Decompressing.
Thank you. It was something. But how I get through, and there's some freaking hilarious people out there.
Oh my goodness.
Dying laughing on the floor. I'll send some every once in a while when they're like epic, but people impress the shit out of me. And overnight, they're like, I had no idea people gave a shit about me. And, I had so many comments. And, to keep up that, but then also really just be yourself and natural and free. Hats off to them. Like, hats off to him. Elise Myers, I love you. You're hilarious, Selena Boo Boo, and you're sleepwalking. And Savage Mom.
Oh,
for Life.
she's the one that sleepwalks?
Yeah.
And those are hilarious.
She's
I
like,
don't know her name. Yeah. She's very funny. That's really putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. Kind of like what we're doing here. I mean, for me it is. It's putting
really
myself out there. And it reminds me of, Glennon Doyle. She is married to Abby Wamba, I think is how you say it. Wamba. Anyway, she started writing. There was on Facebook, I'll just back up. On Facebook, there was like a mom's group that she was a part of, and I think she had a blog. She had a mom's blog, and I can't remember the name of it. Doesn't matter. On Facebook, somebody asked a question about like 10 things that make you feel a certain way. And everybody was, oh, well, I really like it when, all these like superficial answers. And she got on there and said, do I love my kids every second of the day? No, they get on my nerves. Like, do I watch them sleep and think, oh, this is such a beautiful thing? Absolutely not. When they're sleeping, I get as far away from them as I can. Like she was just brutally honest with that. And she got all these, like, it started this whole thing for her. Where people were like, okay, she gave other people permission to be
I like that.
okay.
Given permission.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
It really is.
I think it's so much more doable these days. It's extremes now. You're either going to let it all hang out, all of it.
Right.
Cottage cheese, varicose veins and all.
It's there.
Or you are going to make it look like you live the life of a Kardashian.
Life. Yeah. And people, we want real.
Yes.
We want real. And what Sean's even dove into, I'm bringing you in, bro. When we got to talking about putting yourself out there, it's stamped. I mean, you are like always searchable. Like, so no matter if you post something, sexting, picting, if it's out there, it's so hard to erase. So you got to be careful, and you got to be all in or towing the line, or you're subject to other people's feedback. And it's not nice. It's bullying. It can be crucial.
It's awful. You have to have some thick skin for that.
You really do.
Which in certain areas I do. Like certain areas I just don't give a shit. But in other areas I'd be like, and I don't know until I put it out there probably, and if that's, excuse me, how I really feel. But I feel like it's more with social media. When I was a kid, to take a picture of yourself was arrogant. No, I'm not kidding. There was no such thing as a selfie. Nobody even would think of calling it that.
Nope.
But I remember taking a picture of myself, and I think my brother was like, "What are you doing? Oh my God." Somebody's going to develop that, and he was really, and I felt kind of dumb, and I was like, well, I was just trying to I don't know what I look like. And maybe I was like 15 or something with an Instamatic camera, it's not like that anymore.
No.
Boy, there's a whole racket in doing selfies. There's filters. What is our motive? That's probably my biggest thing. When you run through not just TikTok,
okay, so I want to add
Instagram. Okay.
So, I wanted to know what is the most popular social networks used on all these platforms, and it's users in the millions. Facebook is number one.
Is it? That surprises me.
2.9 billion people.
Wow.
Are actively using Facebook daily.
Holy
YouTube, 2.5 billion. WhatsApp, 2 billion. Instagram is fourth at 1.4. And you got TikTok that's down on the sixth, which surprises me because there's so much content out there. There really is. I mean, you can be a geek on criminal investigations or fitness and body and, makeup, or just really expose yourself.
I
You
like
just
to
expose yourself.
redo furniture and paint furniture. There's a whole thing on TikTok about that. I thought it
Cooking,
was
recipes.
I thought it was just funny videos like Vine. Remember Vine?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. But the more I kind of ventured out into TikTok, I was like, oh, there are people teaching people things on here. And so there's a difference.
Now that's a
between-
motive.
That's a motive. That is a motive.
Teaching.
And that's a good motive because you can generate an income and it can turn into a whole other
A
thing.
positive thing for other people to gain that education.
What
Now,
about the people? Go ahead. No.
what's another motive? Attention.
Attention, big time. I mean, sometimes I'll read something on Facebook and it makes me cringe. I would never mention a name and I would never even mention the content.
I would.
But there are some people that just will go all out with, or they'll say,
They
I'm
use
on
it
my
as
way
their
back to the
diary.
hospital.
Yeah, look what I
I'm
made
okay.
for dinner, and
No, but I'm on my way back to the hospital. I'm on my way, like a person that's like perpetually ill with an illness, and God bless them. But the last thing I'm going to be doing is going on Facebook going,
My
well, I'm
followers
on my,
worry about
I
me.
have
I
this,
need to-"
I'm going back into the hospital, and that's it, period.
But they
What are you
do.
looking for there?
They look for a connection, even if they'll never meet them in person. They look for acceptance and connection some people follow that. Like they want to know what's going on in this stranger's life. And it can be the most minute thing, or it can be a complex thing in their life.
So now we're all
baffles
voyeurs.
me. Yeah.
Really? We are. We're all
are.
voyeurs. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, what happened next? When's his next post? I've done that where I was like just obsessively going back and back and back. And then my daughter one time said, on Instagram, they can see how many times you've looked. And I was like, oh, I guess I won't be
now I
doing
look
that.
like a creepy voyeur. There's levels of voyeurism.
Oh my goodness. I'm okay being a voyeur on Facebook. I was when it first started. But
Yeah.
now with all of these sort of unexpected consequences, the way that it has hijacked the brains of our children, just everything that it encompasses now is far broader than 2008?
Right.
When Facebook kind of was popular,
Right.
first came out.
Right.
That's
And
different.
it all depends on what you can market your business. All of these health and beauty industries are building their clienteles from it. And I completely see the benefits. And I also know the pitfalls of it, from time that you put into it, it just sucks the life out of you. But at the same time, you expose yourself. Your privacy is gone. As Sean, had a mission to scrub himself off of the internet. How are you doing on that? Like,
Oh no, I'm gonna do that in 2.5 years.
yeah, 2.5 years.
No, that's when I'm gonna start doing it.
Oh, so but it takes a long time
But-
to erase comments, to erase anything that you've
yeah,
ever
you're
been
out
involved
there,
in.
But
man.
I'm in other databases as well. I'm in government databases because of the radio station and stuff.
That's true,
So I can't really scrub that unless I really get crazy.
right? And so you subject yourself to the perception of others, just strangers, and that can affect your life. Not only like the feedback and the negative comments, but you getting a job. People get fired from having social media accounts, and they post something that is personal to them, and boy, they get called in that office and they're fired because you're supposed to be a representative of your company. And so you're living to standards of the world and trying to be an individual in it. It's really got a negative side effect to it. But
Oh my-
what
and
is
what
the
about the-
motive?
What is the motive? What about people who would write something horrific about another human being? A cheater.
Yes.
Or, he did, or she, or he did this, and this, and then your shit's just out there. And the victim, if you will, not the perpetrator, but the person who's being perpetrated against can't do anything about it. You can't delete things.
Nope.
It has to be done by the owner. So
It's
if there's-
one side of the story.
Yes, and it could be really hurtful and really ugly. And then let's not even start with the bullying.
Oh my gosh.
I
These kids, and
Oh,
I
it's
can't just
awful.
say kids, but
No,
they
it's
put
grown-ups too.
They promote people to and push suicide. Like the cyberbullying that happens. There was one here on a local level to where even the school district had to get involved and say shut it down because they were, not only were they worried about bomb threats, and it went wild. Like it went media crazy. And then also people, are sitting there bullying and encouraging people to have suicide. There's this character, dark
Go
character.
kill yourself.
Yes.
Or why don't you just off yourself? Or what are you shouldn't be alive anymore. And just really just
That
that's-
motive scares the shit out of me.
Chrissy Teigen, she did that to that young girl. I shouldn't have brought it up because I don't know the young lady's name. She married
Courtney
that.
Stodden.
Thank you.
Wow.
She bullied her on Twitter. Told her you should go kill yourself years ago. And then they didn't cancel Chrissy Teigen. This was just in the last year that this went on. It happened a long time ago, but it got brought up in the last year.
Can't erase it. Once it's out there, you
Nope.
cannot get it back.
And she's a big mouth on Twitter. She's all over Twitter. And a lot of people have looked up to Chrissy Teigen.
Her life's changed.
yes.
So when you put it out there 10, 20 years ago, I'm not the same as I was 10, 20 years ago, but, we didn't really use this platform either to communicate with other, people we'll never meet and to get valid acceptance, and to get external, hey, I've got 13,000 subscribers. How many followers do you have? It's like comparing yourself to like inevitable amount of people that
It's like
mean
everybody's the Pied
nothing
Piper now.
to you. Yeah.
You're just woo, doo, 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 and how many people are joining you from the streets and getting doo, 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 the Pied Piper.
I do.
Yeah, and that's all it is think about it. These are followers. I always have these full circle moments. Okay, so I will say one thing and then maybe some comments that Italian group I told you I was in, and
Oh, yeah,
remember
the
oh
recipe.
my gosh, it was like thousands. I just had to disconnect the whole. I had to stop. It went on for weeks. It was
Yes.
awful and not good. Like the majority of the comments were bad. They were nasty. So I always have these full circle moments where I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll post this. And then some comment's going to come in there. And I can't stop myself from going, who the fuck are you to say that to me?
Right.
On
'Cause
this.
you put them in that lane. You
then-
allowed that to open.
Exactly. And then I say, okay, well, I posted it. So does that mean that anybody can say whatever they want to me because I've posted a picture of my family?
Right.
It's insane.
It really
so
is.
I take gigantic steps back. I do. I don't share a lot on Facebook. I really don't. I will tell you right now that I have a Facebook marketplace addiction because I am on there constantly.
That's buying and selling
talk about
goods.
refreshing and popping back up. Oh yeah, it's the whole thing. Will you take $10 for that? You're asking 25. How about 18? Oh my goodness, it's a thing. It's a thing for me. Yeah.
So in closing, I think it's just a good way to say, why am I doing this? And what is the good coming from this? Even if you need attention or if you just want people to know what's going on in your life. I've kept it up to date on so many friends that I'll probably never see again just because I have access to them.
Yes.
The second thing is be cautious on what you put out there because your privacy, it's important to share sacred things with ones that are going to be understanding and respectful. If not, then you opened that Pandora's box. I have to say, one of the TikToks that I seen that randomly showed up on my feed, they're live. You can watch people sleep, just the most fucked up shit on there. But this lady, young mother, had her baby infant that you could hear in the video of her saying, the baby has COVID, don't move him. And the door was banging and she propped her phone up and you watch someone literally get the shit beat out of him.
So she was saying the baby has COVID and nobody can come in, and was it her ex-husband or
No,
the
it was
father of the baby?
It was the father of the baby, came in, took the baby, moved it off the bed, but then literally beat the shit out of her because he wanted her phone and it was too busy recording domestic violence.
And what do we do with this?
Nothing.
As a society,
Hands
what
are
do we do?
tied.
Do we gawk? Yes. It's like a car wreck.
I panicked. I wanted to call the police,
Thoughts and prayers. We're good. Thoughts and prayers.
No, I only say that because, literally, it's opened up people to shed their skin, be vulnerable, and the Me Too movements and all of those things that happen. There is a positive side to putting that out there instead of, allowing that to happen. So I want to know what happens. So I'm a follower. I'm a leader. in closing, I want to say to you, the reason why we launched this topic is because we use it. It's out there, and it's not going anywhere.
Nope.
So it is your right to use it responsibly.
To our greater good, hopefully.
Yeah.
It would hopefully be to our greater good. All right. Hey, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Freaking sex. Look at those cleavage.
Wow,
Yeah.
I know. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't
Next.
believe you did that, Charmaine.
You've been listening to Whack-A-Mole with Tina B and Charmaine G. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on YouTube and subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Join us next time for, well, whatever may happen with Tina B and Charmaine G on Whack-A-Mole. This has been a production from A Podcast Studio.